Welcome to the Blossom Mindset, the path to blossoming into your fullest potential through everyday actions. I am your host, Lindsay, a behavior analyst, certified clinical trauma specialist, author, and entrepreneur. My passion is helping people create meaningful, positive change. Using a behavior analytic approach, I guide individuals to uncover their values, build self-awareness, and take intentional steps towards their goals and building their skill set. This podcast reminds you that you don't have to face life's challenges alone and is here to help you take the first steps towards meaningful change by increasing self-awareness and shifting your mindset with support and no judgment. Together, we'll explore topics like identifying your values, setting realistic goals, and learning practical tools to increase mindfulness and shift your mindset towards a more meaningful life. With guest speakers and actionable strategies, each episode helps you break through internal and external barriers, offering easy steps to create a life aligned with what matters most. This is the Blossom Mindset Podcast, your path to blossoming into your fullest potential, one action at a time. Let's get started. This is a friendly reminder that the information shared on the Blossom Mindset is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a one-size-fits-all approach and is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Remember, this is not a therapy session and is simply for educational purposes and serves as an additional resource for you. Your well-being is important to us, and reaching out for the right support is a vital step in your journey. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Blossom Mindset. I'm Lindsay, and today we're going to slow things down a little bit. Over the last few episodes, we've talked about showing up gently, staying consistent without burning out, and navigating chaos when life doesn't go as planned. So today we're going to talk about the power of reflection, which is that pause that allows that growth to take root. Reflection isn't about fixing yourself or analyzing every detail from the past or even the present. It's about noticing where you've been, what you've learned, and how you want to move forward with more clarity and care. Reflection is a very important tool in your own growth journey and behavior change. If you are not self aware of maybe some of the things you've done, said, events that have happened in the past, it can be hard to notice where you are and what parts you are wanting to change as you're moving forward and growing. We live in a world that rewards that constant movement. We do more, move faster, keep going, hustle culture, right? But that's not always helpful. Growth doesn't happen just because you're moving. It happens when you can stop long enough to notice what that movement is teaching you. That hustle can lead to burnout very quickly. So it's important to be able to reflect on what you need to pause, to regulate, to notice the patterns of where you want to change in order to keep moving forward. You can keep going, you can keep hustling, you can keep moving. And that reflection is going to help you notice what's working and what's not working so you can make those shifts and those changes that you need going forward. We can keep moving forward, right? We can keep chugging along, doing the day to day, staying almost stuck. But until we recognize where in your life and what in your life is working and what's not working, we're just doing the same thing. So that reflection can really help you recognize the patterns, how you respond to the consistency in your life, how you handle the chaos, what actually happens in your life when things are feeling hard. Are you shutting down? Are you getting more irritable? Are you isolating yourself? Are you giving up? Right? Without that reflection, it's easy to repeat the same cycles, even when you're trying your best. We get in those habits, those cycles, because they become so comfortable for us. But sometimes we need to break those cycles. We need to break maybe some old patterns or old habits that are no longer serving us. And that really does start with reflection. Becoming self aware. What do you notice in your body? Did you make a mistake, or maybe you didn't respond as effectively as you could in a situation? And it's not to say that we need to hold on to the past. That's not what reflection is, because sometimes we can go into the past and overthink about it to where that can shut us down, or we're feeling like a failure, that we messed up, or we're not good enough. That's not the point of what the reflection should be trying to teach you. The reflection, with using it as a tool, is to help you dig deeper, increase that self awareness for yourself, and use that to move forward in the present moment in a better way. That's where that growth is coming in. So, that reflection is helping you move forward. And it's not judging your pace and where you're at. Everybody moves at a different pace, even yourself in different seasons of life. You may move faster during one season and you may need more rest to slow down in another season. Or replaying your mistakes, like I mentioned before, it's not about getting stuck in the past and going into that negative mindset of, I'm a failure, I made so many mistakes, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. That's not helpful reflection. And even asking, why am I not further along than I thought I would be or than I should be? That's not reflection either. Reflection is being able to observe without blame or observe without that judgment. It's listening to those internal cues, right? What is your body telling you? Is it telling you that you need to slow down and rest? A lot of times, especially with that hustle culture or that go, 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 your body is going to start to deteriorate if you keep going and you're not resting and recharging, right? If I don't know if you've noticed this, but I noticed this in the past where I would go, 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 and all of a sudden I'm down sick. And that's my body signaling, like, you're done, like, you have to stop. So, especially with increasing the reflection and self awareness of my own body cues over the past couple years, I can start to notice those signs when I'm starting to feel maybe that burnout coming in, that fatigue coming in, and implementing those skills to take care of my body and recharge and rest then, so that I'm not overworking myself to the point where your body is just like, you're done, you're shutting down, no more. And it physically stops you to where you may be down for a few days. Um, Maybe even a week or two if you just keep going and you're not taking that time to rest and recharge. So, reflecting on those old patterns, right? My old pattern there was go, go, go. I have to keep going. I can't take a break. I can't pause. There's still so much to do. Using that pattern and noticing what happened in these past few years, I've been working on implementing and allowing myself and accepting that it's okay to rest. Even if it's a day or even if it's half a day, it's okay to slow down and recharge your body. And doing that throughout your week as well. It's not just Sunday comes along and now is the only day that you can rest and recharge. If you do little bits throughout the week, it can help. But when your body is becoming so overworked, at least what I noticed with mine, being able to then take that more significant pause so that that growth and you can move forward, right? So if I'm taking a half a day or a day to rest and pause, I'm noticing that that pattern is now shifting in my body to where I'm not getting sick and I'm down for 1 to 2 weeks. I may be down for that day. And then I have the energy, I have my body's feeling better to continue forward and to continue to grow forward versus getting to the point of burnout and just completely not even giving up, but just your body is screaming at you to stop because you're not listening to those internal cues. So those internal cues are going to start getting louder. So that's where that reflection comes in. So for me, that was one of my patterns. I want to encourage you to take some time this week to reflect on what some of your patterns in the past have been and those natural consequences of those patterns, right? For me, it was getting sick for long periods of time. And then I want you to go into how you can slowly shift or break those patterns and implement something new going forward. And noticing too, then over time, are those consequences or the outcomes of those shifts positive, or is something maybe still not working and you need to create some more shifts, right? It's kind of like trial and error. You can try one thing and it may not work. And sometimes you feel like, well, there's what's the point in trying? I don't want to keep trying, or I've tried all the things. Maybe you've tried a lot and you just haven't found the one that works for you. Is there something deeper going on? Is there something else that you're not doing? And this is where that reflection is going to come in. Again, it's not about judging, it's not about replaying those mistakes. It's about really making space for that curiosity. Why is this happening? What's going on? What can I do better? Instead of criticizing yourself. So, even another moment of reflection I had this past weekend was there was a post I had made, and I had no negative intention with it, no judgment, nothing. I thought it was kind of positive along the mindset shift, and I was getting very positive feedback. And then there was one or two people where I still engaged in some dialogue, and I didn't realize that I didn't initially realize that the way they perceived my messaging came across as judgmental. So it took me a moment to step back and reflect. And I was like, wait, I can see this. They're not coming at me in a mean way. They're not, criticizing me, but they're bringing the way they communicated, brought to light maybe something I missed. And that's where that reflection can come in. It was tough at first. I was like, wait, I didn't intend for it to be judgmental. I felt bad about it, but I took it down, and I really delved internal on that and reflected, what was I trying to communicate and how could I maybe have communicated it a little bit differently next time. And again, social media, you're going to post things, people are going to have negative comments or different perceptions. And again, that's a part of life too that we have to realize. Wording can change perception as well. And we'll get into perception in a different episode because I know that that is a very detailed topic to go into on its own, of that power of perception and different perceptions. But going back to that reflection, it's you taking the time to reflect on yourself, because the only person you can change as you. You can't change other people. You can influence other people, but you are in control of your body, your actions, how you speak to yourself, how you respond to those thoughts, how you change maybe some past actions. Well, we can't change the past, but we can change how we respond going forward. And I think that's important to remember when going in with the judgment and the criticism, and that not being helpful with reflection. Reflection is really a powerful tool. I know a big practice can be journaling. I like to journal, and sometimes it's brain dumping those thoughts without the judgment. And sometimes it is really going through the past of, these were some patterns. How can I change those patterns going forward? If you're not aware of yourself, if you're not reflecting on your actions, your thoughts, your life, then you're just, again, kind of replaying the same days over and over. And maybe you're comfortable in that because that's what you know. Maybe you're here because you want to learn how to start to shift that and use that reflection in a more positive way. But I do think there really is a lot of power in that reflection if you're using it as that growth tool, that mindset tool. There's so many things we can reflect on. I even work with a lot of clients that are like, that wasn't my best moment. And I'm like, yeah, you understand that that wasn't your best moment, and how you communicated with somebody. So what could you maybe do next time, right? We can't change the past, but is there maybe a way that you could have responded a little bit different? Is there a tool that you could have implemented instead? Because change does start with awareness, and reflection can spark that self awareness. Reflecting on what those body sensations are you're feeling, reflecting on those thoughts, again, going back to what's helpful and what's not. I think it's important to do some check ins every now and then to notice what in my life is helping me right now and what is not helping me. And then going into how we can use what's not helping you and create some shifts in your life to see how you can help yourself going forward. So, again, this week, I really encourage you to take some time to reflect, whether it's just sitting with your thoughts, whether it's journaling out your thoughts. And if you're not sure where to start, I do have some journal prompts on the website. They're downloadable PDFs. So feel free to go to the website, download those journal prompts if you're not sure where to start and need a good place to start with that reflection. Or just start dumping out your thoughts and noticing those patterns, and then reflect on where are some of those areas that you want to change, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and what are 1 to 2 actions that you can take this week to start to shift some of those old patterns. Or even if you're not going into changing some of your patterns, changing your environment or implementing daily habits. Maybe that's what you need, right? Reflection is not just in one area. You could want to change some patterns. You could want to build some habits. Maybe you're reflecting on your social circle. And do I want to cut some people from my social circle? Are these people helping me and supporting my growth, or are they hindering me? There's so many different areas that you could take this week to start to reflect on your life. So notice when we're talking about the reflection, what is that top area that's coming to your mind, and use that this week as you're going through your reflection. So take some time to slow down, slow your movement down. It doesn't always have to be the go, go, go. And reflect on where you want to see yourself in the next week, in the next 3 months, in the next year. And it also, I know we've talked a lot about flexibility, having some flexibility with that over time as well. Where you see yourself in 3 months, maybe you get there, maybe you don't, that's okay. Maybe it shifts, and what you thought you wanted for your 3 month or a year plan isn't what you want when the time comes, and that's okay as well. So we don't want to stay too stuck in the past and too stuck in the future. Let's guide that back to the present moment and how we can use both the reflection on the past and the reflection on the future of where you want to be, what your future goals are, and guide how we're moving in this present moment. So, again, take some time to slow down this week. Your body needs it. I know it's been chaos recording this in the middle of all these random weather storms, and that really forced me to slow down this weekend getting iced in the Carolinas. I'm not sure where y'all are listening to this from. So, I know a lot of people, colleagues I've talked to, have had almost been forced to slow down this past week. And I think that that's where it's a great reminder to go into that power of reflection. Slow down before your body makes you actually slow down and stop. So, again, take some time, slow down, be gentle with yourself, and reflect on what you want to incorporate into this present moment for your own growth. Until next time, keep blossoming. Thank you for joining in on this episode of The Blossom Mindset with me. I hope that our discussion has inspired you to take actionable steps towards blossoming into your fullest potential. Don't forget, the best way to show your support is by liking, sharing, and leaving a 5-star review on this podcast. Feel free to drop any ideas for future podcast topics by commenting on my most recent Instagram post of this episode. If you are interested in additional resources or one-to-one coaching, check out our website linked in the show notes. I am so proud of you. By tuning in and listening, you just took one small, actionable step forward towards blossoming into your fullest potential.